This is a public service message by the Ohio Department of Higher Education, the Ohio Cyber Range Institute, and the University of Dayton Center for Cybersecurity and Data Intelligence.
In 2019, the movie Yesterday depicted a world where the Beatles never existed, and therefore their songs were never recorded. Listening to the great music in that movie got me thinking about passwords. Previously, strong passwords involved weird combinations of letters and symbols with rules as to how complex they should be. A letter, a capital letter, a number, a special symbol, at least 8 characters long. They weren't bad, but they were next to impossible to remember, and not that easy to type either. Not to mention, complexity rules led to people coming up with creative ways to get around them. Here's a password that meets the majority of the complexity rules. Upper lowercase, special character, number, at least 8 characters long. More recent research shows that the complexity isn't as important as the length of the password. For example, a very long password is very hard to crack, as we see here when we type a long phrase into a password checker. I tried out a sample password here. So, what do the Beatles have to do with strong passwords? Or in other words, how do the Beatles help? If longer passwords are stronger, then phrases can be good passwords, phrases like you might find in songs. Further, a lot of times they're more easily remembered. For example, if we enter the first words of While My Guitar Gently Weeps into the strength checker, we find that it would take roughly 104 quinvigatillion years to break it using a brute force attack. I don't know exactly how big a quinquavigatillion is. Actually, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but it seems pretty big. Further, it doesn't need to be the first line of the song. It can be any line that's memorable to you, and it doesn't have to be that long. This password would take only 48 quindecillion years to break, but that still seems like a while to me. And all you need to remember is the song title to trigger it in your mind. You may notice that we didn't play any Beatles music in this video. The rights would just make it too expensive. I guess we'll have to imagine. You can do this with any music group or poem or whatever is memorable to you. It's a great way to make strong, memorable passwords. Of course, if once you get a bunch of passwords, remembering them all is still an issue. But that's for another time.
A public service message from the Ohio Department of Higher Education, the Ohio Cyber Range Institute, and the University of Dayton Center for Cybersecurity and Data Intelligence.